Hey everybody, this is Jasmine with Ethereal Pathways. Thank you for joining me. I am actually going to do a recap of what the channel message I was trying to do last night, but my storage on my phone got full and cut off right towards the end. So I'm going to just go over real quick, excuse me, what came out in that message, just recap it. So first off, throat chakra came up again. I started clearing my throat when I first just sat down to start talking, and it was like just a few times, but then it went away. I had talked to two people before that didn't have any issues clearing my throat. So I don't, I feel like that was something I was picking up on, that, somebody was connecting with somebody's energy that needs to speak their truth again. This has been coming up a lot in the readings. So there's that. Sedona, Arizona came up. Spacey, and then Stacy came out. So I don't know if that's like a nickname or somebody else's last name or two different people. I don't know how that resonates, but the name Stacy and then Spacey came out like a few minutes apart. So the word flamboyant came out. I don't use that term very often. So maybe that'll resonate for somebody as a sign of confirmation. Again, if you're new to I'm just going to say this real quick. If you're new to my channel, when I channel things, I get like words, and sometimes they'll seem like random words, but a lot of times they'll mean something for somebody. So take what resonates for you in all of my messages, and they are timeless. So I can post them anytime. You can watch them years later, and if you're pulled to it, there's something in there for you. But I get like weird words sometimes, and it'll resonate for different people. So just take what resonates for you and leave what does not. I always say that with all my readings in my messages. So I saw in my mind's eye some kind of a hawk. So I don't know what type of hawk this is, but it was like brown on the top, and then it had like some kind of like brown splotchy areas here on the breast area, and then it was white underneath that. So maybe that somebody's seen that type of hawk. But I got with that it was like a spirit or a guardian spirit that was looking over somebody, like watching over them. So maybe that's an animal totem or something like that. That's, a guardian watching over somebody. Maybe you might feel guided to Google the spiritual meaning of that hawk or look up what type of hawk it is. And then I got Boulder, Colorado. Is being significant. I have been picking up somewhat on Colorado here and there in some of my readings. And then I heard Irish folk song music, and I don't know what much about Irish folk music or anything like that, but I heard this flute, and I seen in my mind's eye, like a woman dancing, and a bunch of people like around in a circle, and they were like dancing, and there was a woman singing, but I didn't recognize the language. I think it might have been Gaelic. But that came through for somebody. And by the way, Irish and the Scottish Highlands and stuff came out in this reading. So I feel like somebody's either over there or it's very significant for you, or a group of people. So gerbil came through. And then an underground tunnel in the mountains in like Colorado, like with snow on them. I feel like somebody was like up in the mountain, like on this road, and then like going into a mountain, and I see him looking like from the back of a truck, like looking out towards the back of the vehicle. Like in my mind's eye, I felt like I was looking through somebody's eyes in a way, and it's pulling into the mountain and away from the entrance. And so I could see snow on the ground on the road, and it was like mountains in the background right outside the tunnel. So I felt like that was significant for somebody. And then hot air balloon. Red jacket, and with this, it's kind of like I'm gonna give it description. It's kind of like a North Face jacket, like a rain jacket with a hood, but it was a red jacket, and I got a girl that was wearing it, and she had like medium to long brown hair, like brown straight hair, and she had freckles on her face, and she was kind of like running away from me, like I was looking through somebody's eyes in a way. It was like slow motion, like she was running in front of me, and she's turning back and laughing and giggling and kind of running away. Playfully, and then I got the name Amber right after that. Scottish Highlands, like I said, came through, and I saw it in my mind's eye. And then a green viper snake. I don't know what type of snake this is, but I heard viper, and it was like a green on top and white on the bottom, and it was like a tree snake. I was seeing it like coiled around branches in a tree, like it lived up in the tree. So maybe look up spiritual significance to that, or maybe that is going to resonate for somebody somehow. And then I saw a bullfrog that was all puffed out. And then her gnome. So, and then pixie. So, Fae folk is coming out very heavy, and that is associated with that area of the world, up in the UK area. So that's going to be significant for somebody. But her gnome and pixies, and then somebody very, a group of people tied to nature. They're like grid workers, and they're like land guardians and stuff. So that's gonna resonate for somebody. I got dragon as well. So maybe somebody's working with a dragon in the ethereal, or you have a dragon guardian. And then I got these letters F, like F is in Foxtrot, M is in Mary, then an F again. So FMF. And I kind of sort of started seeing like kind of like a UK card tag with these letters, but then I couldn't make out the rest of what was on it. So I don't know if either those initials or those letters or something like that will resonate for somebody. I got the numbers, synchronicities, or numbers. This will resonate for somebody for some reason. 737, 2233, 666, 611, 616, 636, 222, 444, 333, and 111. Druid ceremonial sites with stones came up as well. And then I saw in my mind's eye this young man, it might have been a teenager, with like a beanie cap on, and he had like black hair that was kind of like coming out from under the beanie cap. It wasn't super long, it was like maybe out to here or something, kind of, medium long or whatever, but it was coming out from underneath the cap a little bit around his face. He had like an eyebrow piercing, like a little ring in his eyebrow, and then he had one up under here in his nose, and then he had some, I think, tattoos on his neck. So I don't know, significant for somebody. I got the Terra, which I believe, I don't know much about this, I believe is a goddess over in that area, the UK area, like as far as like ancient druids or whatever. I think that they believe in a goddess like that named Terra. I don't know much about that. I'm gonna have to Google that. If you know, drop it in the comments if you want to. And then I heard media group. So I don't know if that will resonate for somebody, like they work for a media group or they're associated with a media group. And then I saw a huge old school mansion in the UK somewhere, and it was like a greatly manicured estate. And this is like one of those formal, kind of like you see in the 1700 movies, from the 1700s or 1500 or whatever, where, they got the drawing room and things like that, and a formal ballroom, a huge number of rooms. So maybe that'll resonate for somebody. And I also saw like people putting out food offerings for like the nature spirits, like pixies or whatever. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I do know that is something that I have heard that some people in that area of the world will do sometimes to appease nature spirits so they don't get mad at them or something. And it was like, I don't know, at the edge of a forest or something, I don't know. But that's kind of what I got in my mind's eye. And then I saw a stag, like a white stag. So that'll be significant for somebody as well. So that's pretty much what came out in my the message last night. And the overall message was that people were being guided, and whoever this group was, if this resonates, some of this stuff resonated for you, you're being guided to be activated into grid work, into connecting with nature. Maybe you already do that, or you've come from that background where your family does that, but you're being guided to connect with Mother Earth and work with the grid system, be a grid worker, where you go to ley lines and ley line intersections to do like grounding work. It was very heavy in grounding work. And then I got earth sign energy. So like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then I heard Scorpio. So, which is a water sign, but that's something that came through. But I heard like the message was very mysterious kind of. So I felt like that Scorpionic energy was in there, where it was like I was getting a little at a time and a little at a time, and then I was like pulling. It was almost like, what is this? Because I'm like trying to get clarity on some of this stuff, and it was like I felt like somebody was being mysterious with the information. So I mean, that's what came out. So that may resonate for somebody, but that's pretty much what came out. Was the overall message for that. So if that resonates for you, awesome. Let me know. I'd love to hear that. Please like, comment, subscribe. That greatly helps my channel grow and then gets those messages in front of other people that may need to see them. So thank you so much for all your love and support. And I hate that I wasn't able to post the original one, because it ended up being really long anyway. And then I ran out of storage right towards the end. I was like, no. And I ended up having to delete it and go delete a whole bunch of files in my phone so that I could even record this one. So I just wanted to let y'all know that I'm sorry that it didn't make it, but that's what it was. I'm going to try to do another recorded channel message today that I'll post tomorrow. I'll schedule it to post tomorrow, but this will be today's message from last night. So thank you so much again for all your love and support, and I leave you in love and light. Thanks.